Be completely honest. Do you return your shopping cart after using it? Why? Why not?
Yes, it's just common human decency.
Yes, and I use it as a metric to judge other people. It's lazy and just a move. Loose carts can damage other vehicles too.
I never knew that not returning it was an option. I've never seen stray shopping trolleys in a car park. Where I live, and I think in most European countries, you put a coin token into the trolley and only get it back when you return the trolley.
Yes, in fact, I try to park near cart returns, not entrances. It's all about politeness. You can damage property or take up an otherwise free parking spot. My least favorite part of working at the grocery was cart collection. It could be snowing, storming, and sometimes carts would be left at an entirely different storefront.
Yes, because I'm not awful. It's really annoying to other people when those things are scattered around. Also don't want to inconvenience the people who work at the store.
I do because I'm not lazy and those carts can do damage to cars if they roll away.
Always. 'Cause I'm not an.
Absolutely. The other day I watched a lady try to stick her cart up on the snowy curb. She attempted this for about a minute. The cart return was directly across from the snow pile she was trying to launch her cart into.
Yes, and for extra credit, if I can do it in a minute or less, I'll tidy up the corral so that all the trolleys of the same size are together. Figure it makes it harder for the person after me to justify just dumping it if it's tidy and obvious where theirs should go.
Yes, no excuses.
Always. I'm not a perfect person, but if there is one thing that I want to avoid, it's giving more work to people who already have jobs and low incomes.
Yes, of course.
Admittedly didn't used to, then we had notice, and if I figured if I wanted ours to not turn into shitheads, their dad and I should probably make a point of the whole, hey model good behavior, for them and whatnot. Half forced myself to start doing it under those, and then it turned it habit so, and then the kids got old enough where it turned into an expectation for one of them if they tagged along to Target or wherever. I just figured it was one of those things that we should better drill that into their brains as a norm as early as possible instead of pulling my routine and waiting for the whole, sufficient enough motivation, and whatnot, so.
Yes, because it's nice and I get to ride the cart one last time.
Honestly, it depends. My local Target has a cart corral next to the handicap spots, so then, yes. The other Targets do not, and neither do my Walmarts. At the other Targets and Walmarts, no. But there's like an unspoken rule. Each handicap spot comes with its own cart. You take it inside with you when you park, and you leave it next to the pole when you leave. This helps me a ton with my mobility issues to have something to lean on. As long as I can remember, that standard has been in place. The cart pushers at the store will literally come out and replace the handicap carts. In case one goes missing.
I used to. Since becoming handicapped, I might not always have it in me. Just yesterday I wondered why the store didn't have a cart return near the handicapped parking. You don't think about that stuff when your body still works. Always do my best to keep it from rolling or crashing into cars.
In South Africa there are people that collect the shopping carts. You tip them.
Yeah, 'cause I want my pound coin back. Always. If someone doesn't do that, they're a piece of.
Sometimes. As a disabled person, sometimes I just can't do it after an entire shopping trip that already drained my energy and spoons. But when I'm able, yes, I do. It's safer, and it's more polite, so I sure do prefer being able to.
Yes, because I'm not an awful human being. Tears of joy, it's literally the simplest of tasks. And tells a lot about a person whether they do it or not.
Yes, and I'll judge anyone who also go out of my way to make sure all the trolleys are in the correct place and they're not that difficult to have some common courtesy.
I'll be honest and say that I didn't when my kids were in baby seats. I was paranoid about walking away and leaving them in the car. But as they got older, I always returned them.
Yes, I sometimes return other carts on my way in.
There's actually a theory called the shopping cart theory, which is basically your tendency to return the cart or not says how good of a person you are. I once was interested in a guy and he didn't return the shopping cart. That wasn't the only reason I ended up turning him down, but it definitely influenced my opinion.
I always return mine, and I used to judge others until someone pointed out that if you feel unsafe, your safety is more important than returning a cart. And as a woman, I am well aware of how often we can feel unsafe when society would tell us we're overreacting. Unless we are actually unsafe, and then if we get hurt, it's our fault for not being more proactive. So while I know that 99% of people who leave their carts are doing so out of sheer laziness, I don't know if that one unsafe person is among that group. So I choose to give the benefit of the doubt and help out where I can.
Agree. I used to do it most of the time, because I would see my mom do it when I was growing up, and then I saw a YouTube video about shopping cart theory. They talked about how it's a small metric that can be used to judge many things about a person. It's something you don't legally have to do. It's a super easy thing to do. It's the right thing to do. But nothing happens to you if you don't. Maybe it hits a car later, but you'll be fine. It's what separates the good members of society from the bad members of society. How you do anything is how you do everything. If you make small excuses for why you can't put the cart away, you're probably making small excuses for why you can't do other. You don't have what you want in life. That might be why after I saw that I did it 100% of the time, even if I have to push the cart 300 feet, and it's sorry for the bad grammar and comma use. I typed this up pretty quick.
They can also block a wheelchair user's access to their vans. Me.
Same. Sometimes though I end up with a broken cart that doesn't require coin. But even then I still put it back. Who TF doesn't? And why not? I have so many questions.
Oh man, the trolleys, mostly, are all free for all in Australian supermarkets and shopping centers. So they end up nilly strewn around car parks. There is no rule that says you have to return it, no risk of punishment or anything. So it's almost like a test of character to see who will do the right thing for absolutely no gain.
In the US, I've only seen one grocery store with the coin system, Aldi. There aren't very many Aldi in the US. I only knew of one until the past few years, but now they seem to be more common. Every grocery store here has at least a few shopping carts in the parking lot. Sometimes, you'll see a shopping cart in a ditch on the side of the road, but a mile from the grocery store.
And there's always one lone cart in a park nearby, abandoned after someone decided to push their friend home in it.
After I saw so many cars get damaged by carts while being a cart pusher at Walmart, my strategy is to never park next to the cart returns. The back of the parking lot is the best place. Enjoy the exercise a bit.
Do you mind elaborating on what you were thinking during the time you didn't used to?
Hey, I don't mean to be rude, but did you consider yourself a when you didn't return them? Just wondering why you didn't think it was important for yourself to do it, but then wanted your kids to do it.
Greater than, but there's like an unspoken rule. Each handicap spot comes with its own cart. You take it inside with you when you park, and you leave it next to the pole when you leave. Thanks for posting that. My partner has mobility issues, and having a cart at handicap parking is great for him. It works exactly like you describe.
I've never heard of this. It should honestly be communicated more so people don't just take those carts. I always wait until I'm inside the store to grab a cart, but I recognize that's not everyone's method. I think it's a wonderful idea, people just need to know about it.
I never knew that. I'll usually grab a cart from the parking lot when I'm on my way, and if there are ones sitting out. Now I know to leave the handicap carts alone. Thank you.
How does the baby stop you from putting the cart back?
So good if you catch a cart that someone juiced left and maintain eye contact with them as you return it.
Me, too. I also put other carts in the cart return when I put mine in. Why oh why do people just abandon them randomly throughout the parking lot?
That would be a deal breaker for me as well. Anyone who is perfectly capable but chooses not to return their cart is just a selfish person who doesn't give a about anyone else but themselves. Same with people who litter.
Sometimes I find shopping carts without coins too. Those ones I actually don't put back, I just place it near its place, where it's not inconvenient for anyone in case someone who doesn't have a coin or token would end up needing the cart.
I live in Sweden and the trolleys are free here. You don't need to put in a coin or anything, but I have never seen a stray trolley. Except for miles away when some kids have stolen one to play with and it ends up next to the playground, or just feel like, where are you supposed to put it if you don't return it? It will be not just in everyone's way, but in your way as well. How are you supposed to exit the parking lot if there's a trolley in the way? Maybe you have bigger parking lots where you live.
I'll put it this way. Current Saper PXX doesn't approve of a lot of things that younger Saper PXX was just one, admittedly, comparatively small potatoes. Example of that I'd like. recommend people to have kids to fix themselves, they're no. That being said, that was sort of a turning point for me to unfuck myself and get my life together.